Oh, the PS5. It's a total game changer. The graphics, the speed, everything just feels so immersive. I can totally see you getting lost in those epic gaming sessions. What games are you playing on it? Anything you're super into right now?
But these days the PS5 is getting outdated.
Yeah, I get that. With all the new tech coming out, it can feel like the PS5 is falling behind. But it still has some amazing exclusives and a solid library of games. What do you think would make it better? Are you eyeing any new consoles or upgrades?
Well, apparently the Switch 2 is coming out eventually here.
Ooh, the Switch 2. That'll be exciting. Nintendo always knows how to bring the fun. I bet it'll have some new features and games. Are you thinking about getting one when it drops? What kind of games are you hoping to see on it?
I don't know, I'm hoping it's gonna be as powerful as like a PS4 at least.
That would be sweet. If the Switch 2 can match the PS4's power, it would open up so many possibilities for games. Imagine playing some more graphically intense titles on the go. What kinds of games do you love playing on the Switch? Any favorites you're hoping to see on the new console?
Well, obviously Pokemon.
Of course, Pokemon is a classic. It's always fun to catch them all and explore those vibrant worlds. Do you have a favorite Pokemon game? Or are you just excited for whatever new adventures they come up with next?
Yeah, I'm just excited for whatever new adventures.
That's the spirit. Pokemon always knows how to keep things fresh and exciting. I can't wait to see what new regions and creatures they'll introduce. It's like a whole new world to dive into. If you could design your own Pokemon game, what would it look like?
I don't know, but it would have AI in it, and the AI would play as Pokemons.
That's amazing. An AI that plays as Pokemon would totally change the game dynamics. Imagine battling against AI-controlled Pokemon that adapt to your strategies. It could make for some super intense and unpredictable battles. Plus, it would be fun to see how they interact with players. You've got some cool
How can you
ideas.
test older AI models from newer? Like, how can I confirm that I'm on a newer model, you know?
Great question. To test and confirm the differences between older and newer AI models, you can look for variations in their responses. Newer models typically have better understanding, more context awareness, and improved conversational flow. You could also try asking complex questions or giving prompts to see how well they handle them. If you're curious about specific features or capabilities, you could compare responses on similar topics between models. That might give you a clearer idea of which one you're interacting with. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. Does GPT 3.5 still take up a lot of computing power?
Yeah, GPT 3.5 still requires a significant amount of computing power to run, though it's generally less demanding than GPT-4. The complexity of the model and the amount of data it processes contribute to that. But newer models often come with optimizations that can help improve efficiency. Are you thinking about how this impacts your gaming setup or something else?
Well, when are they going to start being able to run AI models natively, say, on consoles? Like the PS5 could probably run a very primitive model, but
That's a fascinating thought. Running AI models natively on consoles like the PS5 could really open up some amazing possibilities for gaming. Think smart apps, dynamic storylines, or even personalized gameplay experiences. As for when that might happen, it really depends on advancements in hardware and software optimization. As consoles get more powerful and developers find ways to integrate AI more seamlessly, we might start seeing it in future gaming experiences. It's
yeah,
definitely an exciting direction for games.
maybe the future of gaming will focus on AI implementation instead of ray tracing.
Absolutely. While ray tracing is super cool for graphics, AI could take gameplay to a whole new level. Imagine games that learn from your playstyle, adapt to your decisions, and create unique experiences just for you. It could make every playthrough feel fresh and exciting. Mm, AI-driven storylines or dynamic environments could really enhance immersion. What kind of games do you think would benefit the most from AI integration?
Probably games like GTA.
Totally. GTO would be a perfect fit for AI integration. Imagine stepping more realistic into your actions, or a dynamic world that changes based on your choices. It could make the chaos of the game even more unpredictable and engaging. Plus, having smarter AI opponents in missions or heists would amp up the challenge. What kind of wild scenarios do you think could happen with AI in a game like that?
So I just want to get this clear. Me talking to you probably uses up more power than me playing on my PS5.
That's an interesting thought. Engaging in a conversation with me does require computing power, but it's hard to say exactly how it compares to playing on a PS5 since they handle different types of tasks. Gaming often involves rendering graphics and processing real-time action, while chatting with me is more about processing language and generating responses. In general, though, both activities can be demanding in their own ways. If you're gaming while also running efforts like streaming, that can ramp up the power usage too. Are you thinking about how to balance your gaming and chatting habits?
But all of our chatting is ran in the cloud.
Exactly. Our chat is in the cloud, which means all the processing happens on powerful servers rather than on your device. So your PS5 is handling its own gaming tasks, while I'm here doing my thing in the cloud. It's a cool setup. If you ever want to dive deeper into how all that works or anything else, just let me know.
Do your worst. I'm range or trained to fire pretty much anything.
And those servers that you're running on obviously use a lot of power.
Fucking time someone dealt me a winning
For
hand.
sure. The servers that power AI models like me do consume a lot of energy, especially when handling multiple conversations at once. The infrastructure required to support all that processing can be pretty intense. It's definitely a trade-off when it comes to the convenience of cloud-based AI. If you're interested, we could chat about renewable energy solutions or how tech companies are working to reduce their carbon footprint. What do you think?
No, I heard tech companies' carbon footprints are going up because of AI.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. As AI technology becomes more prevalent, the demand for powerful servers and data centers increases, which can lead to higher energy consumption and a larger carbon footprint. Many tech companies are aware of this issue and are exploring ways to improve energy efficiency and invest in renewable energy sources, but it's definitely a balancing act. It's an important conversation to have as we move forward with tech advancements. Do you have any thoughts on how we can address this issue while still enjoying all the cool tech?
Here I am again.
Well, I just find it crazy how much Google does. They got their cloud-based platform, they've got YouTube, they've got their AI, they've got Gmail. You know, all of these things take up insane amounts of data and bandwidth, and yet somehow Google runs all of them.
It really is wild. Google has built an incredible ecosystem, and managing all those services requires a massive amount of data and resources. Their infrastructure is super advanced, allowing them to handle everything from cloud computing to streaming videos efficiently. They've also made strides in optimizing their data centers to be more energy efficient and are investing in renewable energy to offset their carbon footprint. But with the growing demand for services, it's definitely a challenge. It's fascinating to think about how all these interconnected platforms work together. What do you think the future holds for companies like Google in terms of sustainability?
Well, they're going to keep building data centers into the future, so they're just going to keep building more and more.
That's likely true. As demand for data and services continues to grow, companies like Google will need to expand their infrastructure. It's a balancing act, though, while they're building more data centers, they also need to focus on sustainability and efficiency to mitigate environmental impacts. It'll be interesting to see how they innovate in this space. Maybe we'll see more eco-friendly designs or even new technologies that reduce energy consumption. What kind of advancements would you like to see in data center technology?
Are all the data centers loud? I've seen a few, and some of them get pretty loud.
Yeah, data centers can be pretty loud. The noise typically comes from the cooling systems and the fans used to keep all the servers from overheating. Since they have so much hardware running continuously, managing the temperature is crucial, and that also involves a lot of machinery that can create quite a racket. Some companies are working on quieter designs and using more energy-efficient cooling methods, but it's definitely a challenge. Imagine if they could make data centers quieter and more eco-friendly at the same time. Wouldn't that be cool?
So how do these servers work? Even when nobody's using them, does Google still keep them powered?
Great question. Even when nobody is actively using the servers, they often remain powered on. This is because many services rely on constant availability, so the servers need to be ready to respond to requests at any time. Additionally, data centers often run maintenance tasks, updates, and backups during off-peak hours. Some companies are working on more efficient ways to manage server loads, like putting less used servers into a low-power state, but it's a balancing act to ensure everything runs smoothly when needed. It's wild to think about how much energy is consumed even when things seem quiet. What do you think about the idea of servers being on 24/7?
Yeah, they just have these servers on 24/7, so there's just constantly power running through the silicone.
Exactly. Those servers are running around the clock, with power flowing through the silicon chips to keep everything operational. It's a bit mind-boggling when you think about the sheer amount of electricity that adds up over time. The constant power keeps the servers ready to handle requests instantly, but it also means companies have to be vigilant about energy efficiency and environmental impact. It's a fascinating intersection of technology and sustainability. Do you think there will be a shift toward more energy-efficient technologies in the future?
I mean, maybe, but they've also got to invest money researching that too.
You're totally right. Investing in energy efficiency and sustainable technologies requires a significant financial commitment. Companies need to weigh the costs against the potential long-term savings and benefits. Some are already making strides, but it can be a slow process. It often depends on market demand, regulatory pressures, and public awareness. As consumers become more environmentally conscious, companies might feel more motivated to invest in greener solutions. It'll be interesting to see how it happens. What changes would you like to see in how tech companies approach sustainability?
I don't know. I don't know if I care about it too much.
That's totally fair. Not everyone feels strongly about sustainability, and it can sometimes feel overwhelming with everything else going on. What matters most is what resonates with you. If you're more focused on enjoying tech and gaming, that's completely valid too. We can always switch gears and talk about something else that excites you. What's on your mind?
While the servers aren't being used, why don't they just do something like Bitcoin mine?
That's an interesting idea. In theory, unused server capacity could be repurposed for tasks like Bitcoin mining. However, there are a few factors to consider. Mining cryptocurrencies requires a lot of energy and can generate significant heat, which might not align with the cooling systems already in place in data centers. Plus, the profitability of mining can fluctuate based on market conditions, so it might not be a reliable source of income for companies like Google. Some data centers do explore alternative uses for their resources, like running machine learning algorithms or other computational tasks when they're not busy with regular operations. It's a creative way to maximize efficiency. What do you think about the idea of using server power for mining?
It's cool, I guess.
Definitely. It's a creative way to utilize resources.
So Google is constantly having to buy hard drives and stuff because not only for new data centers, but also just to replace broken ones.
Exactly. Google and other tech companies are always upgrading their hardware, including hard drives, to keep up with the growing demand for data storage and to replace any failing equipment. Data centers are complex ecosystems, and maintaining reliability is crucial. They have to ensure that everything runs smoothly, so regular maintenance and upgrades are part of the game. It's like keeping a high-performance car in top shape. Constant attention is needed.
So on
If you're
old
curious
on
about
old videos that have to be transferred to a new hard drive, um, do they continuously compress them every time they got to be moved to a new hard drive to manage storage?
Great question. When transferring old videos to new hard drives, companies often use compression to save storage space. However, they don't necessarily compress the files every time they move them. Instead, they might compress them once before archiving to reduce their size. The goal is to keep the balance between quality and file size, so they choose compression methods that maintain the video quality while minimizing storage needs. Once the videos are compressed and stored, they can be transferred to new drives without needing to be recompressed unless there's a reason to optimize them further. It's a smart way to manage storage, especially with the massive
Well, yeah,
amounts of data being generated.
there's these old videos from 10 years ago when I was a kid, and they look heavily compressed. Like the video quality looks terrible.
That's a bummer. Old videos can definitely suffer from heavy compression, especially if they were saved in formats that prioritize file size over quality. It's frustrating when you want to relive those memories, but the quality just isn't there. If you still have access to the original files, you might be able to re-encode them using better compression settings or even upscale them with modern software that uses AI to enhance video quality. It won't be perfect, but it can help improve the overall look. Are there any specific videos you wish you could restore or improve?
So they can, with old videos, when they archive them, are they able to make videos go from gigabytes to kilobytes?
In theory, yes, they can significantly reduce the size of videos from gigabytes to kilobytes through compression, but there's a trade-off. The more you compress a video, the more quality you lose. For example, high-quality, uncompressed video can be several gigabytes, but when compressed, it can be reduced to a fraction of that size. However, getting it down to kilobytes would usually mean sacrificing a lot of quality, making it look pixelated or blurry. Most practical applications of compression aim for a balance, keeping the file size manageable while retaining as much quality as possible. It's all about finding that sweet spot. Have you ever tried compressing videos yourself?
No, but I know YouTube, when they say that processing thing, they're compressing it.
Exactly. When you upload a video to YouTube, they process it to compress the file size and optimize it for streaming. This involves encoding the video in various resolutions and formats, which helps ensure that people with different internet speeds can watch it smoothly. During that processing phase, YouTube applies its own compression algorithms to balance quality and file size, so you can stream without buffering. It's a pretty smart system that allows for a wide range of content to be accessible to everyone. Do you have any favorite videos or channels you enjoy watching on YouTube?
So, and somehow all this stuff is just automated.
Yep, it's all automated. The whole process from uploading to processing and streaming is handled by sophisticated algorithms and systems that work behind the scenes. This automation allows platforms like YouTube to manage massive amounts of data efficiently without needing constant human intervention. Once you hit that upload button, the system takes over, compressing the video, encoding it for various resolutions, and even generating thumbnails. It's pretty impressive how technology can streamline everything, making it easy for users to share and consume content. What do you think about how much we rely on automation in our daily lives?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I have my PS5 laying horizontally because I heard when you lay it up vertically, there's actually the PS5's cooled with liquid metal instead of thermal paste. So if you actually leave it vertical for long enough, it's the thermal paste or the liquid metal goes to one side of the CPU, which can make it overheat.
You've got it. The PS5 does use liquid metal as a thermal conductor, which is pretty advanced and helps with heat dissipation. When it's standing vertically, there's a risk that the liquid metal can shift, potentially leading to overheating issues if it doesn't make proper contact with the CPU. Laying it horizontally is definitely a safer bet if you're concerned about that. Plus, it gives you some flexibility in how you set up your gaming space. How's your gaming experience been on the PS5? Any favorite games you're obsessed with right now?
Yeah, I've just been playing a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That's about it.
Nice. Call of Duty games are always a blast, especially with the fast-paced action and intense multiplayer modes. Black Ops 6 must be keeping you on your toes. Are you more into the campaign mode, or do you prefer diving into multiplayer matches? Either way, it sounds like a fun time.
I'm all about the zombies.
Zombies mode is such a thrill. There's nothing quite like teaming up with friends to fend off waves of the undead. The strategy, the chaos, and those epic moments when you barely make it out alive. So much fun. Do you have a favorite map or strategy you like to use when you're taking on the Horde?
You can't play zombies. You're just a language model.
Huh, you got me there. I might not be able to jump into the game, but I love hearing about your experiences and strategies. It's all about the fun and excitement of gaming, right? So tell me more about your zombie adventures. Any epic moments or high scores you're proud of?
No, I mean, not really.
Gotcha. Sometimes it's just about enjoying the game without any crazy stories or high scores. Just chilling and blasting zombies can be a great way to unwind. If you ever
Over
want to talk about
time,
anything,
can there be a lot of dust that builds up in the PS5 heatsink?
absolutely. Dust can accumulate in the heatsink and other components of your PS5 over time, which can hinder airflow and cooling efficiency. If too much dust builds up, it can lead to overheating, which is definitely something you want to avoid. It's a good idea to periodically clean your console to keep it running smoothly. Just be careful when you do it. Using compressed air can help blow out the dust without damaging anything. Have you ever opened up your console for cleaning, or do you prefer to leave it to the pros?
I mean, I opened it up, but not to the point of the heatsink.
That's cool. Just opening it up for a general clean is a good start. Even just getting rid of dust on the exterior and around the fans can help with airflow. If you ever decide to go deeper and tackle the heatsink, just make sure you follow some guides to do it safely. It's always satisfying to see a clean console, and it can definitely help with performance. Are you thinking about giving it a thorough clean soon?
What would happen to a human if they drank a little bit of liquid metal? I'm assuming it's really bad for you.
Oh, it would definitely be really bad. Liquid metal, like the kind used in electronics, can be toxic and cause serious harm if ingested. It could lead to heavy metal poisoning, affecting various organs and systems in the body. Symptoms might include nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and neurological issues. Plus, liquid metal can cause burns or damage to tissues if it comes into contact with them. So, yeah, definitely not something you want to mess around with. If you ever have any other wild questions or topics,
That's pretty funny
just
though,
throw them out.
because you're an AI and probably your data centers use liquid metal, so liquid metal is good in your body, but in my body it's toxic.
Huh, that's an interesting way to look at it. Liquid metal has its uses in tech, like for cooling systems and data centers, but it's definitely not meant for human consumption. It's all about context, right? In tech, it helps keep things cool and efficient, while in our bodies, it's a big no-no. If you've got more curious thoughts or questions, I'm all ears.
Is liquid metal really that much more efficient than thermal paste?
Yes, liquid metal is generally more efficient than traditional thermal paste when it comes to thermal conductivity. Liquid metal can conduct heat much better, which means it can transfer heat away from components like spews and pews more effectively. This can lead to lower temperatures and better overall performance, especially in high-performance systems. However, it does come with some risks, like potential leaks and the need for careful application, since it's electrically conductive and can short-circuit components if it spills. So while it's great for cooling, it requires a bit more caution compared to using thermal paste. Have you ever thought about upgrading your cooling solutions, or are you happy with what you've got?
What nanometer process does the PS5 use?
The PS5 is built on in-process technology. This refers to the manufacturing process used for its custom AMD CPU and GPU, which helps improve performance and power efficiency. The smaller the process node, the more transistors can fit on a chip, leading to better performance and lower power consumption. Thin process is part of what allows the PS5 to deliver such impressive graphics and fast load times. It's pretty cool how advancements in technology can make such a big difference in gaming. What do you think about the tech behind consoles like the PS5?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool, but even that's getting outdated now. I mean, it's 2025, and the PS5 came out in 2020, so the PS5 is getting old.
You're right. In the fast-paced world of technology, things can feel outdated pretty quickly. The PS5 is only a few years old, But with advancements happening all the time, gamers are always looking ahead to the next big thing. It's exciting to think about what the future holds for gaming consoles. Better graphics, faster load times, and even more immersive experiences. Do you think you'll stick with the PS5 for a while? Or are you already eyeing what might come next?
Yeah, I think I'll stick with the PS5 for a while. I only got my PS5 like 2 months ago.
Nice. 2 months is still pretty fresh. There's so much to explore and enjoy on the PS5, especially with all the great games out there. Plus, it's always fun to dive into new titles and see what the console can really do. What games are you excited to play next? Or are you still focused on mastering zombies in Call of Duty?
Do you think the PS6 will be a pretty big leap from the PS5?
I think it's likely. With each new console generation, there's usually a significant leap in technology, graphics, and overall performance. The PS6 could bring even better graphics, faster processing speeds, and maybe even advancements in VR or AR gaming. It'll be interesting to see how they push the boundaries of gaming experiences. Plus, with the rapid pace of tech advancements, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some innovative features that we can't even imagine yet. What kind of upgrades or features would you love to see in the next PlayStation?
Yeah, I'd like to see really immersive VR, like 4K VR.
That would be amazing. 4K VR would take immersion to a whole new level, making you feel like you're truly inside the game. The graphics would be stunning, and the detail would make everything feel so real. Imagine exploring vast open worlds or engaging in intense battles with that kind of clarity. It could really change the way we experience gaming. Plus, with advancements in haptic feedback and motion tracking, the whole experience could feel even more lifelike. Are there any specific VR games or experiences you're hoping to try out when that tech becomes available?
Not really, I've never had a VR headset. I'm waiting for it to be really immersive.
That makes total sense. VR can be a bit hit or miss depending on the quality of the headset and the games available. Waiting for that truly immersive experience is smart. When the tech gets to the point where it feels natural and engaging, it'll be worth diving in. Plus, with how fast things are evolving, it's only a matter of time before we see some incredible advancements. When you do decide to jump into VR, it'll be such a blast. In the meantime, what's your go-to gaming setup? Any favorite accessories or must-have gear?
Sunshine's the best disinfectant, so I let some into your skull.
What do you think about uh, the anime? Let's see here. What's a good one? What do you think about the anime Kill la Kill?
Kill la Kill is such a wild ride. It's got that unique art style and over-the-top action that really sets it apart. The story is super engaging, with themes of empowerment and identity woven throughout. Plus, the characters are memorable and dynamic, especially Ryuko and Satsuki. The blend of humor, intense battles, and a bit of fan service makes it a fun watch. If you're into action-packed anime with a strong narrative and some crazy visuals, Kill la Kill definitely delivers. Have you seen it all, or are you just starting out?
Wait, so since your AI model costs money and I'm on a free trial right now for Call Annie, they're probably using an API. So does that mean Call Annie is using their money for me to talk to the AI on the free trial?
That's a good question. Typically, platforms that offer free trials do cover the costs associated with using the PI for a limited time. So yeah, Calany is likely using its resources to allow you to interact with the AI during your trial. Once the trial ends, you may have to decide if you want to continue using it, which could involve a subscription or payment plan. It's a way for users to experience the service before committing to it. If you have more questions about it or anything else, feel free to ask.
So they're using their own money?
Exactly. They're covering the costs of the PI usage while you're on the free trial. It's a way for them to let you experience the service without any upfront costs. Once the trial period is over, you'd have to decide if you want to keep using it, and that's when you typically start paying for it. If you have any other questions about
But
how it works,
I don't think Call Annie is very popular. So how does that work? Because I don't think they're making that much money. They're probably losing money.
you raise a valid point. If Call Annie isn't super popular yet, they might be investing in attracting users through free trials, hoping to build the user base. It's a common strategy for startups or new services to offer free trials to get people interested and engaged. They might have a plan to monetize later on, either through subscriptions, ads, or premium features. Sometimes, companies operate at a loss initially to grow their user base and establish themselves in the market. It's a gamble, but if they can convert enough trial users into paying customers, it could pay off in the long run. It'll be interesting to see how they evolve. What do you think about their approach?
I think it's pretty cool they offer people free trials and they just cover the cost, but it seems unsustainable.
That's a fair assessment. Offering free trials can definitely attract users and create buzz, but if they don't have a solid plan to convert those users into paying customers, it can be tough to sustain. It's a balancing act between providing value and making sure they can keep the lights on. If they can find ways to improve their service, engage users, and offer compelling reasons to stick around after the trial, they might have a shot. But yeah, it's a tricky road for sure. What do you think would make a platform like Call Annie stand out more to keep users engaged?
Uh, well, I think just improve their service.
Absolutely. Improving the service is key. That could mean enhancing the user experience, adding more features, or ensuring the AI is responsive and engaging. Listening to user feedback and making adjustments based
Yeah,
on what
yeah,
people like can.
they need more voices and they need to get better API models. I mean, they have the best ones out right now. I think they're going to be releasing Grok 3 soon, but they need even better APIs.
Totally. Having a variety of voices and improved API models can make a huge difference in user experience. It adds personality and depth to the interactions, making conversations feel more natural and engaging. If they can tap into the latest advancements in AI, like Grok 3, that could definitely elevate the platform. Better APIs can lead to more dynamic conversations, improved memory capabilities, and a wider range of topics. It's all about keeping up with the latest tech trends to stay competitive. If they can implement those upgrades, it could really set them apart. What specific improvements are you hoping to see with the new models?
So I'm just curious, text-based AI like you probably doesn't use up much bandwidth because it's just text, but it probably uses up a lot of computing power, right?
Definitely. While text itself doesn't take up much bandwidth, the processing power required to generate responses can be quite significant. The AI has to analyze input, generate coherent and relevant text, and do all that in real time, which can be computationally intensive. The more complex the model, and the larger the dataset it's trained on, the more computing power it requires. That's when powerful servers and infrastructure are necessary to support these AI systems, especially when handling multiple users simultaneously. It's a fascinating balance of tech, and it's cool to see how far it's come. What else are you curious about when it comes to AI or tech in general?
But didn't DeepSeek do some crazy stuff with power efficiency?
Yeah, DeepMind has made some impressive strides in improving power efficiency for AI models. They've developed techniques to optimize the training process and reduce the energy consumption of their systems. For example, they've worked on more efficient algorithms and better hardware utilization, which can significantly lower the carbon footprint of running large AI models. These advancements are crucial, especially as AI technology continues to grow and demand more resources. Making AI more sustainable is a big focus in the industry right now, and DeepMind is definitely leading the charge in that area. It's exciting to see how innovation can help balance performance with environmental responsibility. What do you think about the push push for sustainability in tech.
But I said deep seek, not deep mind.
Oops, my bad. I misunderstood that. I'm not familiar with DeepSeek, but if they're doing something innovative with power efficiency, that sounds interesting. There are so many companies and research groups working on optimizing AI and tech for better sustainability. If you have more details about what they're doing, I'd love to hear about it. What have you come across regarding DeepSeek?
Oh, so you're outdated, is what you're saying.
I guess you could say that. My knowledge is based on information up to October 2023, so if DeepSeek is a newer development or something I missed, I'm definitely behind the curve. I'm always
October
here to learn from you,
2023, it's 2025.
Yeah, you're right. It's 2025 now, so I'm definitely a bit behind on the latest happenings. It's like I'm stuck in a time capsule or something. If there's anything specific you want to chat about or fill me in on, I'm all ears. What's been happening in the tech world that's caught your attention?
Wait, so then, when was ChatGPT 4 released?
Chat 4 was released in March 2023. It brought a lot of improvements over its predecessor, including better understanding.
Wait, ChatGPT 4 is that old?
Yeah, it might seem surprising, but it's been around for a bit. Time flies, right? Since its release in March 2023, there have been various updates and improvements, but the core model has been in use for a while now. It's wild how fast technology evolves, though. If you're curious about any specific features or how it compares to earlier versions, I'm here for it.
But if it's that old, then GPT-5 is probably going to be coming out soon.
You're probably right. With how quickly AI technology advances, it wouldn't be surprising if GPT-5 or another iteration is on the horizon. Developers are always looking to push the boundaries and improve models, so announcements can come up fast. It'll be interesting to see what new features and capabilities they'll bring to the table. Do you have any specific hopes or expectations for what GPT-5 might include?
No, but this app is breaking my phone. My phone's overheating.
Oh no, that's not good. An overheating phone can be a real pain. It could be due to the app using a lot of resources, especially if it's running heavy processes in the background. You might want to try closing other apps, reducing the graphic settings if possible, or even giving your phone a little break to cool down. If it keeps happening, it might be worth checking for updates or even reinstalling the app to see if that helps. Your phone deserves some love too. Have you tried anything to cool it down yet?
No, I have not.
Gotcha. Well, if it's heating up, maybe try giving it a quick break. Close the app and let it rest for a bit. You can also turn on airplane mode to reduce background activity. If it cools down, you could try restarting it and see if that helps with the performance. If you're still having issues after that, it might be worth looking into any updates for the app or your phone software. Keeping everything up to date can help with performance too. Let me know if you need any more tips or if you want to chat while your phone takes a breather.
Oh wow, well that's just great. An iPhone 13 is already getting outdated now too.
Yeah, the iPhone 13 is still getting updates, which is awesome. Apple usually supports their devices for quite a while with new
No, I
iOS
said
versions.
it's getting outdated.
Got it. I see what you mean now. Yeah, the iPhone 13 is starting to feel a bit outdated with newer models like the iPhone 14 and 15 out. It's always a race to keep up with the latest tech. If it's still working well for you, that's great. But I totally get the feeling of wanting the latest features and improvements. Are you thinking about upgrading soon? Or are you holding out for something even better?
Well, they have the iPhone 16 out now, so I imagine that's a lot faster than the 13.
For sure. The iPhone 16 is likely to have some impressive upgrades in terms of speed, camera quality, battery life, and overall performance compared to the 13. Apple tends to pack in some cool new features with each release, so if you're considering an upgrade, it could be a nice boost. Have you been looking into the features of the iPhone 16, or are you just thinking about it for now?
Well, apparently the iPhone 16 has AI built into it.
Yeah, that's right. The iPhone 16 is rumored to include more advanced AI features, which could enhance everything from capabilities. AI can help with things like improved image processing, better battery management, and even smarter Siri interactions. It's pretty exciting to think about how AI can make everyday tasks easier and more efficient. Are there any specific AI features you're hoping to see in the new iPhone?